everybody, it's Happymailqueen. So I wanted to do this tutorial on creating this cute little pizza box, and if I have time I will also show you guys how I made my little ornaments. I've actually, let me just show you a preview. I actually decided to go ahead and make my shaker ornaments for my Christmas tree. So I'll, yeah, if there's time on this video, I will also give you a tutorial on how to create this or just the regular tags that I shared on my previous video. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to need is nice, strong, sturdy paper. If you have, you know, the whiteboard that I showed you guys, I used to get mine at Joann's, but they don't sell them anymore. But I don't know, maybe some of you guys have it in your stash. But you want something sturdy, basically, and obviously the more you layer it, the more it will get sturdy. So right now I just have the 110-pound paper from Michael's. And so you're going to need two 8.5 by 11 sheets, okay? You're going to need some glitter paper to, you know, to decorate your box, and then whatever other elements that you want. You know, I'm using my digital images. This is how they come out when you print them. This is the Polka Doodle Winnie Winterland. And then once I cut them out, because I do have to cut these out by hand, you could also use, of course, your cutting machine, your Cricut or Silhouette if you have it. But once I cut them out, I did do this by hand because I don't have my machine yet. I stickle them, and they just kind of add a little more to it. Okay, so that's what you do, and then you want to cut all your pieces. So with your trimmer, okay, you want to cut one of your 8.5 by 11 into 8 by 8 inch. Okay, and I will put the measurements on the screen, or the I'll put it in somewhere, you guys, on the screen during this video, or I will put it on the description box. And then the second one, which is going to be your box on the bottom, that you have to cut a little bit smaller, and you want that at 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. And then your finished product is going to be a 6 by 6 pizza box. Okay, so once you have your cardstock cut up, you also want to cut your glitter paper. So let's just do all the cutting now first. That's the best thing to do. You want to cut your piece for the top at 6 by 6, okay, 6 by 6, and then you're going to want to cut the panels if you want to decorate the sides as well. So the sides are going to be 1 inch by 6 inch, okay, and you might have to like trim just a tiny bit from the edge once you start gluing them, just to make sure that they're not sticking out. Okay, so I've already done mine. So you're going to cut 4 pieces for the 4 side panels. Okay, so not this one, that's all you need. 4 pieces of the 1 by 6, and then 1 piece of the 6 by 6. Okay, and then you also, since you have your die cutting machine out, probably, you know, once you do all your cutting first is basically what I'm saying. You want to also cut your decorative borders, whatever die you have in your stash, okay? And I've already cut mine. All right, so then you want to take your scoreboard. You can also use your paper trimmer and score it, but you do need a scoring tool. Just take your scoring board, scoring, what is this called? The bone folder. And what you want to do is, okay, just start with your paper here. What you want to do is score at 1 inch on each side of the paper. So you're going to score here 1 inch and give it a good double scoring, and then turn it over another scoring twice, okay, all around until you have basically all the borders scored, as you can see here. Okay, that's how it's going to look. Then you take your 7 7/8 inch paper, cardstock, and you do the same thing. Score, you know, score, 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 right? 1 inch borders, and that's what you're going to have. Okay, so I've already done mine for the sake of this tutorial, so it won't be too long, hopefully. Okay, so then once you have that, then you want to cut. So take your scissors. Okay, I have my scissors here. And just be careful where you're cutting it, okay? You're going to cut, and hopefully you can see that, this scored area here. Okay, first of all, just make sure you know which paper you're cutting. Okay, so one you can see is a little bit bigger than the other. Okay, so let's start off with the top, okay, which is the top of your pizza box, which is your 8 by 8 inch. You're going to cut here. Okay, just cut up to that score line. So you just basically created that little flap, okay? And you do the same thing on the right side here. Okay, that's your first cut, again, right there. Now, across, okay, the opposite end, you want to do the same thing. Okay, and then you want to do the same thing on the right side. Okay, now with one of the side, we'll just take this side. You want to take this square piece off on both sides, so this little square piece and this little square piece, and I'll show you exactly why. Whoops, I'll turn it over, show you why we're doing that. Okay, just cut that off completely. Okay, and that's what you're going to have. This opposite side here, you're going to leave this flap, but you want to just cut a sliver off like that, so that when you fold it, it's gonna be a little more perfect. Okay, and then just cut a sliver off. And you're basically doing that because if you've ever constructed a box, okay, when you fold the flap in like this and you glue it, you're not going to have anything sticking out, okay? And that's why you do that little sliver, if that makes sense, hopefully. Then that way, this will be nice and flushed right here instead of it, you know, having a little piece, you know, sticking up, and you have to cut it. So it just saves you that step. Okay, so now you want to just kind of fold in your score lines, okay? Okay, so as you can see here, no flaps here, no corner flaps. This one you do have the corner flaps, okay? And then you're gonna glue that. Oh, by the way, go ahead and put on your glue gun, okay? Because you do want to make sure you're heating that up while you're doing this. Okay, so let me do that on mine. Now you can use whatever glue, you know, whatever your preference is, but I found that the hot glue is the easiest and it dries fast, and since I'm just, you know, I'm gluing this, it does stay on nicely, okay? Especially if you're doing several of these boxes. Okay, so that's for this one. That's the top of the box. Now, the bottom of the box, you're gonna fully construct like a box, okay? Meaning you're gonna glue all the sides. So again, take one side. You're not gonna cut anything off, but you're just gonna cut your score line. So again, you keep that flap on. Do it here again. Again, the opposite side, you're gonna do the same thing. Okay, so I hope you don't hear my husband. He's in a game right now. A comp game is what he calls it. And so he's a little He's a little noisy. Okay, so go ahead and just kind of fold that in where your score lines are. Okay, there we go. So all our flaps are there. Go ahead and kind of fold those flaps as well. And then we're ready to glue. Oh no, we're not, because you want to cut the slivers, right? Again, when you fold this, it's just going to, it's just gonna set better, you know. Okay, and then take the opposite side again. And I'm only cutting, again, my little flaps, okay? You're not, I don't cut the big panel. I just like to cut the little flaps. Sorry. It's a little awkward for me to cut over there, so I hope I've been in frame all this time, okay? So now that you've cut your little slivers on your flaps, it should look like that. And your sliver on this side here, okay? It should look like that. Okay, now we're ready to glue. So you want to glue, of course, the flaps from the inside, not from the outside, okay? That's the wrong way. You want to glue it from the inside. Let's see if my glue is hot enough, because I forgot to turn it on. Always have handy your paper towels, okay? That's how I do it, just because I keep mine all cut up, and then I just put this little clippy, what do you call it, binder clips. I just put this on so that, you know, once I'm done with that, I can just take it off, and then I have more here. That's how I do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this in. So I'll start off, and just be careful. I do use a low temp glue gun so I don't burn myself, but you know, it's still hot enough that you can burn yourself. So just be very careful, because this is a tiny flap that you're working with, and yeah, I burn myself every once in a while when I'm not too careful. Okay, so that should stay on nicely. See how easy that is? Just kind of press it down and done. Okay, take your other one. So again, you want to use a nice sturdy, and repurpose those you know, extra packaging material that you have. Sometimes, you know, whoops, you do get those. Nice sturdy cardboard. Okay, so there's one. I want to do the other two flaps again. Let me just get some glue on there, and as you can see, I'm gluing the edges and the middle. So I use plenty of glue on this, because you don't want this obviously coming apart, right? You don't want your box to come apart. That would not be good. Yeah. I really hate those, you know, Christmas boxes that you buy and then they kind of fall apart on you. And then if the edge is kind of sticking out, just go ahead and trim that off, okay? Just to give it a nicer finish. Remember, you're gifting these, so you do want to do a pretty good job. And hopefully they will keep it and not just toss it. So be wise when you gift these. I would give them to my crafter friends. Because your family is probably just gonna use up the tags and then toss the rest. Unless you have one of those stamps that say, do not toss this, I spent hours making this for you. Alright, so now for this one you only have two flaps. This is for the top, okay? You only have two flaps, so you only have to do these two little square flaps on one side. See how easy this is coming together, you guys? So you want to kind of stock up on these 110-pound paper when Michaels have them on sale. because I think I paid $10 for this one. You know, of course you could always use a coupon, but when they go on sale, you know, they do have black, they have, you know, different colors. Not too many though. I think I've only seen black, cream, and white. I don't know. Maybe it comes in different colors, but those are the only two that the only ones that I've gotten. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so one side is closed up. This one here, without these square flaps, this is the part that's going to glue onto your bottom piece. Okay, and it's basically going to just glue right here. Can you guys see that? That's the back of the pizza box. Okay, so I would just go ahead and put it on the lid. That's how I do it. Okay, I go ahead and do that, and then I just go ahead and glue. That way I know it's gonna land exactly where it's supposed to. Okay, so I'm just gonna, again, use plenty of glue. Use a lot of glues just to give you time to glue this down, otherwise it dries up too quickly. Okay, and then very carefully set that down. This is just how I do it. This is my method. Of course, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay. If Fabri-Tac gives you a little more time, you can also use this. But it does dry a little bit slower, so I would use these clips, you know, to hold the corners down. Okay. All right, so as you can see here, I have a little bit, see that? It's sticking out a little bit, but all you got to do is to just cut that off. Okay, just to give it a better finish. Whoops. And this usually happens because, you know, when you're cutting those creases, when you're, you know, it's not always lined up. I mean, you're not always cutting it in the same spot. I don't know if that's making sense, but okay, that's your pizza box. Thank you. Okay. So then let's go ahead and decorate. Okay guys, so this is the fun part where we decorate our box. So go ahead and get your pieces. We're going to start off with this 6x6 glitter paper. And you can use whatever adhesive you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and just use my Fabri-Tac. loves that, right, guys? Look at that box. It's super cute. You can put your tags, you can put, you know, anything. And look, I could even put my embellishment book in there. I think it'll fit. Yeah. I might need a belly band. It's my embellishment book is pretty thick. I put too much stuff on there, but it does fit in there. So see how adorable, right? So yeah, that's how you create it, guys. So I hope you liked my tutorial. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.